Alright, hi guys, if you're watching this video, this is going to be about, they're going to give you the area and you're going to have to work backwards to find the length of one of the sides. And just as a review, the area is the amount of space that something takes up within a shape, and the perimeter is the outside of the shape, and to find the perimeter, we add up all of the sides, and to find the area, we have to multiply how long it is times how wide it is, and that will get us how many squares would fit inside that shape. So like if you look at this picture, obviously if you look count across, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 1, 2, 3 down. Obviously we can count all the squares, but we don't have time for that. So if you take how long it is and multiply it by how wide it is, then you will get how many squares are in the inside. And as a review, if this is inches, you would put inches squared, because as you can see, when you find the area, you are literally finding squares, which are two-dimensional, which is why we put a little 2 there, okay? So, let's look at this one. This one says the area of a rectangular carpet is 63 square meters. Again, if this shape wasn't here, I would definitely draw the shape. That's a good way to show your work and then helps you visualize. The area is 63, so I always think, well, area is the inside, so I always write it inside, meters squared. So I know, again, to find the area, I'm doing how long it is times how wide it is, okay? So here's my length, here's my width. So right now I have 63 equals, and let's see, they're giving me the length is 9. So 63 is 9 times, I have no clue, because the question is, find its width. This is what we're looking for. Well, again, just like if you're finding the perimeter and you're adding up all the sides to get the perimeter, if you're working backwards and they give you the perimeter, all you should do is subtract and you work backwards, okay? Same thing with area. If you multiply to get to the area, then if you're working backwards, the opposite of multiplication is division. You need to divide to get backwards. So if I know that there's 63 total squares within this shape, then I know that I have to do 63 divided by 9, and then I will get the other side, and I know that's 7. Now, I can also check this. If I know that area equals length times width, I can check to see, is 9 times 7 63? And it is, so that checks out. Make sure, as a reminder, the length of the sides does not get squared, only the area gets squared. Okay, let's try another one. This time, it says it's a square. So the one we just did was a rectangle. This is a square. A square is a little different because automatically you should be thinking, oh, a square has all equal sides. So if they're saying the area of the square is 25 centimeters squared, a lot of times kids just want to do 25 divided by 4. But you can't do that because we don't know that it's not going to work out, because that's really to find the perimeter, I guess, of the shape. Realistically, what we're doing is you have to stop yourself and think, it's a square, so the length and the width are the same exact number. So these two are the same exact number. So in your brain, you have to think, well, what number times what number gets me to 25? And it's the same number. If you are really great at math facts, then that should come pretty easily for you. If you're not, then it might be something that you struggle with and have to really think about. In your head, you should be thinking, well, 5 times 5 is 25, and that makes sense because all the sides would be 5, and the area would be 5 times 5, get to that 25. The next problem is, I want you to pause and I want you to see if you can solve it, and then check your work when you're done. It says the area of square H is 49 square inches. Okay, again, we have a square. What do I know about a square? All the sides are the same. And I know that area equals length times width. And they gave me the area, which is 49. So they're saying 49 equals how long it is times how wide it is. Well, again, it's a square, so I know that this number and this number are exactly the same. So if you're really great at math facts, you'll be able to quickly realize what that number is. If you're not, you might have to stop. Like 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36. I got to keep going. 7 times 7, 7 times 7 is 49. So I know that this must be, each side must be 7 inches. And again, you can check it. If you say 7 times 7 equals 49 and that works, then you are good to go. Okay? Realistically, what you're doing is you are finding, I don't know if you've ever heard this, the square root of something. What that means is if you're finding like the word square root, there's two words, square, and then there's the word root. And I always think of root as like the beginning phases of something. So if you have a square, when you find the square root, you're finding like the original number that would go on a square. And if you're thinking about a square, all the numbers are the same. So when you find the square root, it's what number times itself would get you to that number. So like in the symbol looks like this, the square root of 16. Well, I know that 4 times 4 is 16, so the square root of 16 has to equal 4. Or the square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. And a square, all the sides will be 5. The square root of 36 is 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, it's whatever number times itself would get you to that number. Now, I think that might be it for this video. It is. If you want to check in your workbook and see if there's any problems about this, go for it. Hopefully that was helpful. My number one, words of advice for you would be when you have a problem, you have to read it carefully. Keep in mind if it's a square or rectangle because that really can change things. And keep in mind if if they're giving you the area or they're giving you the perimeter. I can't tell you how many times kids would read the area of a square is 49 and then just in their brains think it's perimeter and then divide it by 4. You can't do that. You have to really slow down. You have to use good student skills and really think about, does that make sense? Am I actually calculating the correct information? Okay, hopefully this was helpful. And then look out for another video about composite figures. That one should be coming next. Okay, bye guys.